I'd like to welcome everybody to the Y108 Bowser Nissan Theater. I am joined by Columbia Nashville's Luke Combs. Luke, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Luke, so let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
How does a guy from Asheville, North Carolina, at a ripe young age, I'm assuming in college or just out of college, end up, and now forgive us because here in Pittsburgh, since Andrew Carnegie is so big here, we call it Carnegie Hall.
Okay.
Not Carnegie Hall.
Okay.
So how do you end up at Carnegie Hall?
You end up there in chorus class in high school. Is how you end up there. We went up every three. I went up 3 times, 2 times to sing and 1 time. So like we would switch off. Like the band would go one year and then the chorus would go, and we would get to like do this big. Like we were a very like nationally accredited choral group in my high school, which is like super nerdy to say, but whatever. I'm proud of it. So we would get invited to go up and do this kind of like. I guess it was some kind of big convention for like 5 choirs from across the United States. We get to go, and so we went up, and there was a big solo. So out of like there was 200 kids or something like that, and I tried out for the big like the solo and the thing, and I got it, and so I got to do a solo in Carnegie Hall, and that was cool. And Carnegie Hall, which was cool. So that was it was a cool experience for sure. And I think I was 17 or something when I did that.
So pretty much any place you play from here on out. Except maybe the Opry.
Right, which I've done now.
So, I mean,
the Opry was cooler, I think.
Yeah, it was easy.
It was. Well, no, the Opry was terrifying. I don't get stage fright or anything in any way, shape, or form, but the Opry was a lot.
What was the thing in the Opry that really just, you were like, oh, wow, I'm here?
It was before the show, I think, and I went out. My parents came in town, and everyone from, all the people that work with me and stuff were there, and I got to. They were like, "Hey, do you want to walk out to the stage, like on the stage before you go out?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I didn't step in the circle until like I just went out and like stood at the right at the edge of it, you know. And that was probably the coolest moment when I was just looking down at it, like, man,
I'm
20 minutes
standing there and
I'm going to be in there and singing in there, but it's so fast paced. Yeah, because it's a live radio. I didn't realize how quickly it all runs, so everybody's running around. Yep. It was so cool, so cool.
When you stepped in that, did your knees knock when you stepped inside?
No, they did.
For people that don't know, at the Opry, they have part of the old stage that is a different color, and it's a circle, and that's where you stand to perform.
Yeah, it's a different kind of wood. Yeah, it's so cool, man.
So everybody that has stood on that
literally
wood.
On that
you
spot,
name it,
right.
they've stood there.
They've stood there,
and then it's you,
right?
And you're like, wow, my first time.
It was way cool, man. It was way cool.
All right, so you're talking about your parents. I know your parents are very involved in a lot of stuff, some of the stuff I've seen online about you and everything. But what's the thing that always got you in trouble growing up?
Singing.
Got you in trouble?
Like humming and stuff in class all the time. Like I would get detention for that in high school.
Did you go back and look at the teachers and the principal and go, look at me now?
No, I didn't.
I just send them a copy of your CD every day. But here's another one. See what this did?
I'll sign this one for you. Right. No, but that was really genuinely, and what I got in trouble for the most was especially when I was younger, like elementary school. I would just hum all the time, and my teachers would just, like send notes home with me, like, "Hey, shut your kid up. He's singing in class all day."
Didn't work.
Right? Didn't work. Glad it didn't work.
So when you go home to see your parents, what's the one thing, especially like now when you go home over the holidays, that you look forward to have your mom putting on that dinner table for you?
Meatloaf.
You know what? That's funny. Mine too during the winter.
Meatloaf.
Yeah,
my mom's meatloaf is awesome.
I agree with you. It's something weird about that. People look when I say that, they look at me
strange.
Like, what? Really?
I love it, man. I think it's great.
I agree with you too. All right. So what's something I went on your Wikipedia page?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, you see, here's the thing. Whoever you were, I mean, you guys got to add a little something to it.
Sure.
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 But what's something you don't ever want to see put on that? Or what's something I wouldn't be able to find?
Oh, man, that you wouldn't be able to find on that. I have a cat.
Okay.
People wouldn't think that about me. They see me and they're like, there's no way this guy has a cat.
And does it come on the road with you?
No, it does not come on the road.
Oh, so the parents are watching it?
No, it's at the house.
Okay.
It kind of hangs out, does its own thing. It's got enough food for a couple weeks, and every time I go home, the Christmas tree's on the ground. It's knocked the whole Christmas tree over, so that's interesting. But most people don't peg me as a cat guy.
No, you know what?
I can't say that I really am. I kind of got the hat and the cat in a roundabout. It's the ashes of a fallen relationship.
Oh.
And the cat is what's left, still burning.
Okay.
The embers are still burning in my apartment. right now. So.
And it doesn't bother you?
No, it doesn't bother. The cat's cool.
That's the best part of the relationship.
The cat's cool. I love the cat.
Yeah.
The cat is cool. It ended up being cool, so that's all right with me.
All right, so you're a singer-songwriter.
Yes.
You've been doing it your entire life. You've talked about doing that for a long time.
Singer my whole life,
okay.
for sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure you if you're humming and singing in class, you're probably making up your own words.
Oh, I didn't start making my own words up till 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. So let's say artists, living or dead, that you could collaborate with, whether it be singing or writing, who would it be?
Ooh, I think that's two different answers.
Okay,
well, singing, probably Elton John.
Wow.
Love
See, again,
wouldn't have pegged me as an Elton John guy, but I love Elton John. Writing, probably Eric Church. I say that a lot. I beat that dead horse a lot.
Do you?
But he graduated from the same college that I didn't graduate from. Yeah.
So that's how that works?
Right. That's how that works, yeah.
And then finally, I always ask this because it just adds a little something and tries to, for me, I get an insight to who you really are.
Yeah.
And now I think I might, with that last answer, know the answer to this, but the album's done.
Yep.
There's one track left open on it, but it has to be a cover song.
Ooh.
What are you covering?
What a great question. Oh, man. Probably, we were just talking, me and Rob were just talking about this, probably Lightning by Eric Church. I think that's the most well-written song that I've ever heard.
Say, most people,
ever.
Out of all the Eric Church library,
yep,
that's probably one that I wouldn't have pegged.
But I mean, I'm such a fan of like the craft of songwriting that to me that song is just flawlessly written. So I would do that one.
I think there you go. I think that's something we need to look forward to in a future project.
Hopefully.
All right, fingers crossed. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Combs.